Hey YouTube, Mike Massey here. This is the video where I talk about my gear. So let's talk about my gear. I'm going to switch to my cell phone here. I'm just going to pick it up and show you what I see when I'm sitting here. This is the corner where I film the Mike Massey Show, my live streams. If you haven't been watching my live streams, you should. There's like a whole playlist of them. But yeah, and this is the same gear that I use at my live gigs as well. So this is what I travel with. I only bring one guitar with me, but I'm going to show you the guitars I have here with me at home. So, yeah. So without further ado, I'm going to pick up my phone and we're going to look at this stuff. Okay, so we're going to start with the iPad here. This is OnSong. This is the app that I use for my lyrics. You used to have a binder like everybody else, and eventually converted everything to. For a while, it was Word docs, and I'll just print them out and put them in a binder. But I had a lot of stuff on my computer, and then I, sometimes would just find stuff on the internet. A lot of times it wasn't accurate. Sometimes it was, kind of hit and miss. But I would just find things on the internet, and it would, I just dump it into a text file, and then I would just edit it, and then I'd put it in Dropbox, and then I would just import it into OnSong. That's kind of the way I work. That's the easiest way to get things from your computer to OnSong is Dropbox or something like that. I think there's different ways you can sync with files online. Anyway, so this is my set list from today, and this is My Sweet Lord. And if you look here, it's kind of cool. Oops, sorry, gotta remember talking to the microphone here. You put it in the name of the song and the artist and the key, and it'll tell you all that at the top. Let's see where it says key V and capo second. I play in D. I put a couple chords in there that I just in case I'm like need a quick refresher, and yeah, and this is how I do it. This is what the style looks like. The blue chords. If you hit the button up here, sorry, I'll do that where you can see it. This button up here brings up the style, and down here I chose, this gray right here. But you can do different kinds of, like see how it's changing the shading, or none, or you can hide the chords or whatever, and you can transpose on the fly. It's super cool. Let's see, that's just formatting this, but yeah, you can transpose on the fly. You can make this look light. This is low light mode, just so it's not super bright in your face. But if you wanted to use this, I think it's just settings. Yeah, low light mode's right here. If you wanted to use this, during the day, it would look like this. Boom, like if you're outside or whatever. That's a little rough, isn't it? But anyway, that's what it looks like. That's the daytime mode, the non-dark mode. Whoops. Anyway, this is a great app. I've used it for a while. So I think it's $30 in the App Store. That's subject to change or whatever. But yeah, there we go. Back to low light mode. It's a great little app, and yeah, I think it is iOS only at this point. But in the App Store, it's $30, and you can do sets. I have a bunch of sets in here. You can copy sets. You can set the duration of a song up here, how long you want it to scroll for. That's the thing, is it scrolls. It's really cool. Anyway, that's OnSong. I love it. It's great. Recommend it. I'm holding it. I'm holding my iPad here with. It's an AirTurn iPad holder here. Let's see, let me get this out here. So here. See it here? Yeah. It's the AirTurn GoStand. That's what it's called. This is my iPad clip, and I like it. I've traveled with it I've had this thing for at least over a year. Most iPad clips don't last that long. They just don't. And this one has lasted pretty well for me. I'm pretty happy with it. And that's from AirTurn. And I'll jump down here to keep on the AirTurn topic here. That's my Bluetooth pedal. I use that to trigger my OnSong. And you can go into OnSong and OnSong's compatible with like a lot of different Bluetooth devices, but you can actually go into OnSong and just assign whatever the pedals are going to do. It's really easy to use. I guess let's go left to right here while we're here. This is my stomp pedal. It's got the little jangles on the top. You can tighten those with screws, make them a little bit quieter if you want, but I just like them. That doesn't go through the system, but this is just a passive pedal, and you just it is touch sensitive. But it doesn't have a battery or anything. It's really awesome. It's a Wild Dog stomp pedal. I know it says Bigfoot, but they had to change the name. It's not called that anymore. So and then in my guitar chain, we'll start with my guitar here. This is my guitar. It's got my name on it. Yay! This is an Ovation. It's a custom Legend. It's made in the USA, and it's a shallow bowl. So it's kind of skinny. It's nice. They sand it right here on the edge here. You can't really tell, and so it doesn't slip off your lap, kind of like the old Ovations used to. That's an Ovation nylon string. Yep. Okay. So this thing is plugged in. Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, sorry. Getting away from my microphone. This is the GK3. That is my MIDI pickup, and that's if you look under the bridge there, you can see it's got the actual sensors that sense the pitches of the notes, and then it transmits it through here through MIDI, and that goes through the MIDI cable and it goes in there. And this is my guitar synth. This is the Roland GR55. It's missing a volume knob, but otherwise it's a tank, man. This thing's been through a lot. This is seriously, this has survived so long. Yeah, it's awesome, really durable. But yeah, so except for the volume knob, but everything else works great. Yeah, I use this for a couple things, as you can see there, 12 string and strings. Move my leg out of the way here. So right here, I use this to enable the 12 string emulation, and then this brings in the string sound. But I have another pad over here, which is like kind of more like a string, or like just a synth pad, and with the 12 string. So those are my main two patches that I made for this thing. I made them myself. I got one for Cats in the Cradle. It's it's a sitar on the first few strings, just for the riff, and then when I turn off that control button, it becomes like a little bit of a 12 string emulation. I don't remember what I had for Limelight, but yeah, Norwegian Wood is another sitar thing. Space Oddity, that's my Mellotron string sound. It's pretty cool. That comes in handy for a lot of different things. I use it for Turn the Page as well. Anyway, Starman is just the same thing but an octave higher on the strings. So yeah, that's my guitar synth. You'll hear it on my feed, or if you see me in concert, you'll hear it once in a while, just some nice string sounds. You can't do it too loud because it gets a little weird sometimes. It never tracks perfectly, and it kind of rearticulates every time you strum, which is kind of a bummer. The older model had it I think more like a sustaining mode, where it just was a little bit better at just kind of sustaining. Yeah. Anyway, they just came out with a new one, but I don't think it has the volume pedal on it. So it's just they just having a port for one. I guess you can attach your own, but I kind of wish they'd kept it on there. Anyway, so this is the Fishman Aura. That is an acoustic imaging pedal that provides images of acoustic like mic'd guitars that you can blend with your plugged-in acoustic sound, and it just makes it sound a little bit more acousticy. My old Martin guitar had one of those pickups, like built into the pickup. It would have a little blend of the Aura thing, and I really kind of got used to that sound. And so I actually bought this for my other Martin, my D41, to use whenever I plugged it in, because it didn't really have a pickup built into it. I didn't want to do that to it. Just put a little, anyway. So that's when I had this, and I ended up using this as my kind of just to kind of get a little bit of that blended acoustic sound when I use my Ovations, and it still sounds like me. I like it. And over here, we've got last but not least, we got my LR Bags Venue. This is just a preamp. I use it as such, and this has an XLR out too. My Fishman does, but I don't use it. I just feed it into this guy, and I go out of here. But the reason I use this, I use this for its EQ a bit, and then I use the boost. Oh, and the tuner. Sorry, this is the boost over here. It's got a little knob on the back. You can set like how many dB it boosts it. I use that when I do finger picking songs to give me a little bit of a boost for my finger picking songs, a little bit louder. I don't really ever take a solo, so you don't need to worry about me boosting for that purpose. And then it's got a nice tuner. The tuner built into the Ovations isn't quite as sensitive as this one, so sometimes I'll go to the Bags if I want to have a really precise tuning. Anyway, and then over here, that's my iPad I just put down. We got that's just my MacBook Pro. It's like really old. It's like 7 years old, I think. But those things are built to last, and it's still kind of going. I don't use it for much other than just internet stuff. And this is just my supply table. It's actually a piano bench. But I got my capo. Oh yeah, I use a G7 capo. I like these guys. They're really nice. This one, I think, that one has my name on it. But they can customize them for you. And I got some extra strings. I use Elixir strings. This is what I use. I use Phosphor bronze, Nanoweb, but the whole set I use HD lights. So these are just a few extras because usually the ones I break are the 24, 32, and 42. An extra battery, some cough drops. This is my other guitars. That's it's another custom Legend, but this is a full-bodied one, and I keep that one 2.5 step flat, so I keep it here on hand for songs where I need to do that quickly. And then that's my 12 string. Let me grab it so you can see it. This is my 12 string. Sorry, it's hard to hold it far enough away where you can see it. It's nice. It's got 12 strings. Anyway, that's my gear. Thanks for watching, and cover the music, cover the world.